Alright, so in this video we're going to be working on the RTX 3090, the latest video card in the market now, and the video card is about $3,200. Expensive, 20% faster than the 3080, but about twice as much money for that video card. So customer already damaged the HDMI port, and there are no HDMI ports available for this video card. We have a lot of different kinds of HDMI ports in stock, and I was able to find an HDMI port that looks similar that we may be able to use on this video card. Let me show you what I mean. So this is the video card here, and we already disassembled it, and that's the main logic board. Logic board is here, and the HDMI port is the first one on the left. Only one HDMI port available on this video card. Let's take a look under the microscope to see what's going on. And look at that. The port is damaged. So if you look here, that's the HDMI port, and that's the one that I was able to locate that looks similar. It may not be 100% perfect, but there's no other choice. They do not sell HDMI ports for this video card, but right now, as far as I can tell, it's identical. And the way I test also is the legs. If the leg spacing, we have two legs here and two legs here, so the spacings of the leg fits perfect. So the port is exactly the same. Exactly the same. I'm going to start by applying low melt solder on the legs of the port. We do not want to expose the board to a lot of heat, so we're going to apply low melt solder so we can lower the melting temperature of the HDMI port. Which I see a lot of holes here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes. I'm assuming it's this and this. This and this. And Flux right here. We have low melt solder here. Low melt solder is going to spill on this ground layer here, but that's okay. And now we're going to apply low melt solder here while being careful. We do not want to knock off any of those components. Right, now we're going to apply low melt solder onto the front pins. And if you've never watched our videos before, low melt solder is used to lower the melting temperature of unleaded solder that's already on the board. So when we apply low melt with unleaded, it lowers the melting temperature of solder. So we can apply minimal amount of heat to the solder connector. Let me grab a bigger tip. Big tip means more heat transfer. So we soaked those front pins with low melt solder. So what we're gonna do now is, let me remove this out of the way. And the board is really thick, so the board is going to absorb most of the heat that's going in, and even with low melt solder it may take a few seconds more than normal to remove that port. And the port is out. The port is out. So right now, if we look at both ports, they look the same. Look at that, the pin alignment. Is the same. You know how on the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, how those HDMI pins are shifted one pin to the left? That's not the case here. And if we look at the pins are shaped differently on the edges, but the pin alignment is the same. Okay, I mean, we're gonna hope for the best. Let's clean the holes. Very nice. I mean, this is one thick board. Let's clean up, and we're gonna solder the new HDMI port. Let's see if we're gonna be able to use this HDMI port. Hopefully we're not gonna have any issues. We may have to readjust the legs of this HDMI port. Maybe if we push this pin to the inside. Okay, this one is in. We just need a tiny push right here. As long as we are able to align those pins, then we should be good. It's doable. Very nice. I just want to have enough solder so we can flip the board and solder the back. We do not want that connector to move. Let's flip the board, do the back, and then we'll come back to the front and finish the job. So we were able to modify that connector to fit on this video card. because otherwise we would not have been able to get that port from anywhere. We have a wide variation of HDMI ports, and I'm glad I was able to find one that we were able to modify to make it work on that board. Just a tiny bit more and we should be good. Okay, so we're gonna solder this one and this one. And we have one more. And very nice. Let's clean up. So that's the back. The back is done. We soldered the 4 legs. Let's finish off working on the front and then we can test this video card. And before we clean up, let's go ahead and test, make sure everything is good. Solid, solid, solid. Awesome, awesome. The pins are super solid. We gotta make sure the video card is cleaned up really well and send it to the customer in like a factory condition. Of course, the HDMI port is not factory, but it worked perfect, 100%. 100%. We just had to modify the side legs a bit, but the end result is beautiful. The capacitor that you see here is in the way, so it's kind of awkward working on this port. I mean, look at the brush. This is a thin brush and I can barely fit between the capacitor, which is a long one here, and the port. So it was awkward soldering because of that cap, but we did a really good job. And let's go over the back one more time. The job is done, and now all we have to do is try out the video card and make sure it's working. I'm gonna let Big Boss reassemble it, and I'll probably record the final result on my cell phone because I do not have a desktop and monitor here to show you, and I'll be back. Almost done. Okay, Big Boss is gonna try out the video card in this desktop that belongs to the customer. The video card is not gonna work out here because the case is small, the clearance is small. Look at this. This video card is a monster. So what I'm gonna do is probably take this video card home and try it on my desktop, and I'll finish off the video later on. All right, so I installed the video card on my PC right here, and look at that. Everything is perfect, and we have the HDMI cable plugged in. The customer is gonna be happy. We're gonna invoice and mail this back to the customer tomorrow. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and we'll do something else in the next video.